There is a dangerous cult that has been operating under our very noses. The systematic indoctrination, information control, and beliefs this cult clings to and injects into the very lives of every person it comes into contact with does damage on just about every level conceivable. From the bottom of Maslow's incredibly memeable pyramid to the tippy top, food, shelter, safety, self-actualization, and finally, weird fetishes have all been commodified, packaged, and sold to us wrapped in shining gold-dusted shit paper. I'm talking about the cult of capitalism. This is Political Wine Time Slumber Party, and I'm your host, Graham. In order to recognize and dismantle the effects this cult has on our lives, we must first learn exactly how it operates. Unlike most cults, it isn't truly subtle. It is not cunning. It's only hard to see when you've grown up surrounded by it. Molded by it. Kinda like how you can drink the tap water from your hometown, but not in other cities because it has fluoride in it, and it will close your third eye. Or worse, it doesn't have fluoride in it, and your teeth will rot right out of your skull. Doesn't look like anything to me. You get the idea. Once you learn how it works, you'll see its influences everywhere. And you will not stop spouting commie nonsense every time you drink, hang out with friends, or, open your mouth. That may just be me. Step 1. Indoctrination. Communism only works on paper. Communism only works on paper. Communism only works on paper. The point of this video is not to talk about how a communist mode will single-handedly pick every piece of trash out of the ocean, pour you a glass of reserve Cabernet, and treat you like the beautiful gremlin you are. I'll do that. Whenever someone says anything remotely pro-commie, the knee-jerk reaction is to repeat the mantra. Say it with me now. Communism only works on paper. You've said it so many times that it's just become a bunch of sounds arranged in a comforting cadence. A code. We belong. We are in the tender embrace of the American dream. I will motorboat the Statue of Liberty's giant copper titties while she shakes her torch at those dirty, dirty commies. Better dead than red any day, am I right, guys? Now, where did you first hear that? At home? At school? At college from some condescending professor who decided your short science fiction story seemed a little on the utopia side? Everyone knows utopia is her old hat. You might not remember the first time you heard it. I sure as hell don't. Get 'em while they're young, like the tobacconists say. Alright, so, who came up with it? I don't know exactly when or where people started to chant that phrase, but I do know that it was and is pushed by those who have something to lose when the current mode of society is simply questioned. That phrase is meant to shut down dialogue that they think may even eventually pose a notion of a threat to those in power. It's also my sleeper agent trigger phrase. This isn't the only one, but it's a great example of the vapid phrases that's used to shut down conversation. Love bombing. Love bombing is when you're pummeled with things that make you feel good. You can be anything. Impossible is nothing. You're the best. The few. The proud. You're always right. Imagination at work. You'll look great in those shoes. Just do it. Here's a free sample of shampoo that will bring out your natural beauty. Because you're worth it. You're better than those other people. Think different. You'll go far. Accelerate your life. Support the troops. I can see the hunger for power in your eyes. I'm loving it. You're a go-getter. So buy our shit. Advertisements cater to make you feel like they know your struggles. Managers who want to squeeze more unpaid labor from you. Hand-feeding you the dream that maybe one day you too will make a lot of money. That's how they start. They tell you everyone starts in kitten heels and work their way up. Contra wise, to the love bombing there's devaluation bombing. You're not gonna be good at basketball until you have some J's. Just do it. You need to shave off all your body hair or you're gross and unclean. Free your skin. You can't. Just do it. You need. Just buy it. You are not good enough. Just buy it. It's impossible to imagine that you will ever be good enough. But impossible is nothing. The point is to break down your self-esteem until you are dependent on the system, on the commodities they're selling you. In this case, products and ideas that align with the current mode of production. Step 2. Information control. Words mean things. Usually. Sometimes. Until they don't. Steve Jobs was the founder and CEO of Apple. I can say that without thinking about it. Steve Jobs, as a one-man team, created each and every iPhone and Apple product that was on the market in the early 2000s. Seems a little, wrong, right? That's because it is. Couldn't sneak that by you. Wink. The idea of Steve Jobs pulling himself up by his own bootstraps and overcoming being a cis middle-class white dude in tech to eventually make billions and billions of dollars is the American dream. Multiple billions of dollars is the American dream. Wait, the American dream is having money? Oh my god, call me shocked. But that's the narrative that is widely known and circulated, and it leaves out the fact that he had whole teams of artists, engineers, designers, programmers, and laborers to put everything together, sell these products, and make a buck. This, of course, ignoring the fact that all the technology in cell phones was created through government research. PsyOps people. It also ignores the fact that Jobs owned everyone's labor. These stories are mangled to make the parasite on top look like some sort of amazing genius who got all the money and power because of their own merit, while ignoring the underpaid, overworked employees. Fun! Even going to the very founding of the company, Steve Jobs literally robbed Wozniak of the value of his labor by stealing the severance pay they got from their prior employment. Wozniak being the man who did all the actual work, and Jobs being the person whose indigence got them fired in the first place. Yeehaw! I regret to inform the populace, in this cult of capitalism, merit is just consideration. Which, by a law standpoint, is usually money. Merit is money. Merit is money. I'm so sorry. You saw it, right? The trick, the sleight of hand, where they made you look at Jobs, the enterprising salesman, who knows how to make a buck and not the literal thief who stole from a friend who trusted him. That's why he merited being the CEO and founder of Apple. Because he could steal good. Let's jump back to something I said. Pull himself up by his bootstraps. That phrase was originally intended to point out a feat that is literally impossible. Now it means you can help yourself. You should help yourself because nobody else will help you. It's a dog-eat-God world out there, and you too can become a god. All you gotta do is eat your friends and family. Wait, it seems like there are mixed messages. Be cool, stay in school. Drop out, create a startup. Don't do drugs, smoke weed every day. Got my mind on my money, and my money on my motherfucking mind? Not all that glitters is gold. All that is gold does not glitter. Not all who wander are lost. The old that is strong does not wither. Deep roots are not reached by the frost. From the ashes a fire shall be woken. A light from the shadows shall spring. Renewed shall be blade that was broken. The crownless again shall be king.
Okay, so which one did you say you wanted? We've got Candy 1, that's just candy. Candy 2, that's like the invisible candy. We got God is Dead, we've got the God is Dead server emoji. We got Hot Dog, we've got Ice Pop, we got fucked up Ice Pop, we got Let's All Go to the Lobby Fucking Weird 2, we got Let's All Go to the Lobby Fucking Weird 1, we got Let's All Go to the Lobby Backgrounds Only, where everybody got Thanos snapped. We got Let's All Go to the Hell Dimension. We've got Popcorn. We've got Ghost Popcorn 2. We've got Soda. Like I said, none of them are Ben Shapiro.
Let's all go to the lab. Oh yeah, the sunk cost fallacy. Step 3. Well, I've already put a lot of time and effort into my brand, and I am just not gonna buy that capitalism is bad. Even when you're struggling to pay bills, drink cheap $5 boxed wine on your night off, and have a bank account app that tells you to stop fucking buying Furbies off eBay. While your car is making new and interesting noises, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. You tell yourself it's not that bad when you have to save every penny to even afford your prescription for painkillers because your back has been hurting you since you fell off a roof at your job. It's not that bad, you say? Throwing more blankets onto your cold body in the postage stamp apartment you barely can afford to rent, let alone heat? It's not that bad, you say as you walk your children down to the school every day in the summer to feed them at the free lunch program. And you watch them eat it, envious. It can get better. I've already done this living paycheck to paycheck thing my entire life. I got this. I'm not poor. I'm a temporarily embarrassed millionaire. I got this. I got this. And you did. But suddenly, you don't. Rent always goes up, and yours did. Or the school couldn't afford the free lunch program anymore. Because of tax cuts. Did you know that 1% of workers annually get injured on the job? Maybe this year that was you. And you can't work until you're better. Then the medical bills pile up in a corner. And the collection notices. Don't open your mail. If you don't read it, it can't hurt you. Sorry to get so dark, but these are actually normal things. Things that have happened to me or my friends. And that was just in the 90s, when our parents were still trying to protect us. You don't need to hear about the rest. Even when you're at the lowest point you can be, it is hard to break free of the cult. Or any cult. I just need a break, you whisper, grasping with numbing fingers to the dream you've believed in your whole life. Maybe it's simply because you already put so much time, energy, and money and effort into it. After all, you'd lose all that hard work if you were wrong. That is the sunk cost fallacy. Believing that you can't have wasted everything chasing a dream that was only ever supposed to stay a dream. So you keep believing in it. Or maybe it's because you don't know there's another way. Title card. Maintaining control. With all cults, there is a commonality. They try keeping control of their members. In the cult of capitalism, that means basically everybody. There are numerous ways to go about it, but the most common ones are sleep deprivation, lack of nutrition, control of expression, and us against them. Capitalism uses all of these. A lot. People are encouraged to forego sleep in order to work longer at odd hours. They're praised for their dependence on caffeine, for being a doer. Or, in the words that actually mean something, putting their jobs ahead of their health. And then you run out of caffeine and your shift ends and it's go to home, go to sleep, up again early. No time to improve your situation. And you gotta move to where the jobs are and bam, bam, bam. Separated from friends and family. Isolated with no network to help you in the event that you need some support. Go it alone. Be strong. Be independent. In food deserts, grocery stores are not only scarce, but sometimes non-existent, forcing people to either commute unreasonably long distances to acquire groceries, or bite the bullet and eat fast food every day. For years, capitalism makes sure that if you can't or won't sign on the dotted line, you will go hungry. Children whose parents couldn't pay the lunch bill watch their food get thrown in the trash in front of them. Or just lack of calories makes it substantially harder to think clearly and get an education out of your education. Guess who this affects? That's right, the working class. This was never about money. It's about control. Control of expression is to tell you that if you want to tell someone to fuck off, you need to be civil about it. And also don't go mouthing off to those in power about the environment where people can hear. How are we supposed to keep making money when we're being held accountable for our terrible, terrible world-destroying actions? It's really fucking hot here. That's super weird. Who would have guessed? No, we didn't have any idea that this would ever happen? No? Okay, yep. Right. Cool, cool, cool. Sweet, cool. And the last one, my personal favorite, us against them. Who is them? You know, everyone who makes the country shitty. Everyone who makes the country shitty. You know, everyone who makes the country shitty. Everyone who's out to undermine the current system. The system works, guys. 30 years ago, this country was amazing. It was how it should be. It was great. And it's the people who don't want to be part of capitalism, or worse. It's the ones who are denied any inroad to profit from the system. They're the ones keeping you poor. It's the immigrants' fault. They're the ones who are sending factory jobs overseas. Bet you didn't know that. It's the gays, automating our industry, killing more and more jobs. God, I got wine all over myself. It's the damned commies, working to turn our country into a police state. It's gotta be the POC, trying to keep the boot of equal opportunity on your face forever. No, I messed that up. It's the libturds and their nasty political correctness trying to take the slurs right out of your baby's mouth. Won't anyone think of the children? Crap. I was reading this wrong. It's the socialists, and they're trying to give everyone a toothbrush for free. For free? They're trying to steal your money. Don't they know that things cost money? Money that is totally not made up to keep track of how many goats the Babylonians were stealing from the Hittites. And kept around to track how much labor the bosses were stealing from their workers. And that it was definitely handed down to us by our Lord God after the Lord our Jesus helped set up the merch stalls in the temple. He totally didn't go into a rage and literally flip tables. You see, we need to stick together because you don't want to be like them and destroy the American dream. So what does the cult of capitalism get out of all of this? The fuck if I know. I have not written the second video yet.
That was Gremlin with Capitalism as a Cult. Up next is Tyr with Babylon 5 is Terrible, and here's why. But first, here's a message from our sponsors. Big thanks to our patrons listed on screen. Check us out on Patreon or on Twitter, link in the nether. Thanks to American Johnson of Non-Compete for helping out with notes. If you like the bubble text or have art needs, check out the author, playist, and artist Graham on Twitter, link in the description, or writing the next part of this essay. If you loved any part of the music except Gustav Holst's Planet Suite, Mars, then look no further than Brent Entrikin on YouTube, where he will be only doing legal mind-altering substances only. Special thanks to Buku, a Gremba tier patron.
You can't just buy it.